speak to his effect on the team overall that we might not see in the day to day? Because it seems like his presence has established better forecheck, stronger play, and you're seeing how that's rubbed off, I think, on Zibanejad. But what do you see in the day to day interacting with him and at the rink that maybe adds to that or supplements what we see on game day?
I mean, he's not a big personality guy, that's for sure. I think a lot of his talking is done on the ice and the way that he carries himself. I think the conflicts that arose in Vancouver between him and Elias Pettersson, I think had a lot to do with, generational stuff. JT Miller's, whatever, 7 or 8 years older, comes from a different part of the world than Elias Pettersson. I think there's a lot to be said and talked about with, the 25-year-old professional athlete, the 25-year-old NHL player versus a 30-year-old, especially a guy who's an American who kind of came up, bounced around a lot, trying to find himself a little bit. I think Miller he's got kind of a brusque personality. He's not warm and cuddly. He's not, he's a good teammate, but I think he needs the right environment to kind of have that side of him thrive. And the Rangers really felt like he could kind of grab, metaphorically grab everybody by the scruff of their neck and say, get in the fight. And that's, you do need guys like that. And I think this Ranger team that felt so shook up all year long probably needed a little of that dose of cold water in the face. And, I think that's kind of what's brought Zibanejad in. I think you see more from Will Cooley, who is that kind of player, but maybe felt a little bit on the outside because he's still a very young guy. But I think when you talk to Will Cooley after games, he's as frustrated and as angry as anybody, and in his own quieter way. So I think maybe when you put a JT Miller front and center, a guy like Will Cooley says, okay, this is my kind of guy, plays the way that I like to play with skill and a little bit of an edge, and that starts to come more to the fore. So I think it's not anything necessarily that JT Miller is a big rah speech kind of guy. I think it's more just, I'm going to play this way. I'm going to be a little bit, he looks a little bit hobo-ish with the teeth missing and the unshaven look. And I think it just works in hockey. I think there's guys that will immediately be attracted to it and want to emulate it. And there's guys maybe at the other end of the spectrum that feel like that's not the way that I want to behave here in 2024. It's just different. Didn't work in Vancouver. I think the Rangers are betting a lot that it'll work here.